is what happens if and when the federal government decides, okay, we're gonna do something now. I think that'll be interesting because that could bring up the idea of nullification all over again.
Yes. Yeah. And the question will be if they ever bother to, because it would be, most of them are smart enough to realize it would be too big of an issue to deal with, because not necessarily that it being pot, but again, like I said, it's states' rights at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean, that'll get, people from all over the political spectrum for states' rights, plus the legalization of the that specifically being weed, and people that are against the drug war, and people that just don't like the government. And suddenly you have the Tea Party and Occupy working together, which just sent a shudder through many people. But
it is funny when that happens, because it can happen.
Oh, yeah. It's that close to happening, just this one issue. Really.
Yeah.
Something that fires up both sides for good or bad reasons, whatever the reasonings being. There are issues that actually reach both sides.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Now with it being legal to sell it in Colorado, it'll be interesting to see how much longer Washington takes. And one thing a lot of people don't realize, when I said it's the only place in the world, yeah, and a lot of people bring up Amsterdam. Well, it's not legal to sell it in Amsterdam. They just don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
They just don't really care.
You can have it. You can smoke it. You can't sell it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what made it the first. And then most of the world, it never was illegal in the first place. It's not legal either. It's just, there's no rule either way.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So the first place in the world, and before, like you mentioned, 1918 when it was made illegal. Before then, it wasn't legal. It just, like most of the world, we didn't care.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's, yeah. And I've had people, you brought up like drinking. I've had people say it's no worse than drinking. It's like, that's an opinion thing. And it's, there always will be people against it and for it, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say we're going to ban s'mores, and half the population wouldn't care. Then certain people would be like, well, you can ban s'mores except for the marshmallows. Or people would be like, no, you can't ban anything. You don't have the right. But
there would be a revolt, I think, if s'mores got banned.
I think it goes back to most of the people would be like, wouldn't care, because they'd either keep doing them anyways and not care, or they would just, we didn't do them before, so sure, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, that was an extreme, not an extreme example, but a totally bizarre example, really. But
and it does, but see, here's the thing that it does show is the chance for government to get too far.
Yes, exactly. And in this case, yeah, the federal government, I think, is going to stay out of it, because if they did try and get involved, it would backfire on them badly, because they overextended in a way that no one would take. Well, I shouldn't say no one. There's always those people that would take it no matter what. But, they, again, both, all over the spectrum, people would be very pissed off.
I think they're gonna get involved in it.
They'll probably get involved in saying, "Where's our cut?"
Yeah,
that'll be the first way to do it, and then that's how they'll most likely just be involved. Is we want our money too.
Yeah,
and they'll charge too much, so we'll end up with a black market because it's cheaper.
Well, it's going to start happening with cigarettes at some point, if it didn't already.
Keep waiting for that one. Or, yeah. What is it, last... I mean, it's where I used to work, we sold cartons, and so saw them, I mean, it was like $60 a carton. For depending on the brand, it was 40 plus to 60 easy for a carton. Going how and people would buy that every week, which I guess
What's a
you know
carton?
what I think it's like 12 packs or something.
Oh, a carton.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were saying carden. I was like, what's
Oh,
a carton?
yeah. See, there's one of those accents. I'm not sure which one that was. But yeah, no, the prices are crazy,
Yeah.
but people will keep doing it. No matter how much expensive you get it, one way or the other, they'll do it. Especially if they're on welfare. I can't afford food for my kids. Well, you bought a couple $100 worth of alcohol, a couple $100 worth of tobacco, and candy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was another thing we saw where I worked. You come with their
Comic
food
books.
stamps and buy stuff like that.
I can't afford this. Well, why can't you afford it? Well, I only spent, $200 a month on comic books. What's wrong with you?
I have a few friends that would apply to.
And that did used to apply to me.
Yeah. Today at work, I heard this guy explaining how to his mom why the Marvel universe is the best one out there. It's just like, that's great. I'm glad you guys are having a day together. This is like, I forget why,
Good
what started him. There
luck.
was a commercial or something. And I was like, I had to stop and go, which one's Marvel?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then he went, one of his top reasons Marvel's better is because Batman isn't in it.
You need to get a new friend.
Oh, I didn't, no, this was just some guy that was eating at my restaurant today.
Okay.
And I was just like, that's your sole reason Marvel's better is Batman isn't in it. So really, he clearly has a love for Batman, apparently. He's against the whole universe because of Batman.
I would have kicked him out right then.
It's busy. Are you kidding? We were there for like an hour and a half before we had a single customer. He was the first customer we had.
I still would have.
It was
you.
snowing and
You're getting your food to
Sub-Zero.
go. You're getting your food to. But what do I do? You're getting your food to go. But go. What go?
That would have been entertaining to do, actually.
And then as he walks out, you put up a sign which says anti-Batman. Batman people not allowed.
Batman bashers not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I wanted to throw another guy out today. He specifically had for his ribs to make sure they weren't burnt. So I told the kitchen there was not a piece of that rib was black, and he complained about them being charred. After he ate them, of course.
After he ate them.
Yeah. Just looked at him, I was like, no, those weren't burnt. He's like, yes, they were. I was like, not really.
I could
So
tell.
he was unhappy, but I was like, you're going to sit there and lie to me to my face. After you ate the food, clearly you enjoyed it enough to eat it all. But another example of the freeloader. I want a refund for my food because it was too good. I want more.
Yeah, I don't understand why you do that after you've eaten it.
Yeah.
Like, you think if you take one bite and you say, no, this is charred, I want something else. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. In this case, I would just laughed in his face pretty much because it was so not charred. But yeah, no, it's like my kitchen staff was not happy with him.
Oh, no doubt. I don't blame them.
There was jokes about that I needed to take out a knife to the tables with me from now on. Which one I told my cook he was more threatening.
Me. My cousin is trash talking me at Words with Friends.
Congratulations.
Just think, okay.
I think that's one thing that's funny is our entire restaurant, I'm the only person who doesn't play Candy Crush.
What's that?
Okay. I can't talk to you anymore. It's this extremely popular cell phone. Well, I think it's on Facebook too, but it's mostly a mobile game. I used to play it. It's pretty fun and challenging. It just got old. But yeah, they're all obsessed with it.
Is that like Farmville?
No, there's not the closest I could come up with is it's Tetris, but with puzzles.
Oh, okay.
That kind of doesn't do it justice, but it involves candies and stuff, and yeah.
Okay.
But it's or like any of those, you can put 3 or 4 in a row and it disappears. But they keep dropping like Tetris. I don't know.
Okay, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
Kind of picture it. But yeah, they're all obsessed with it. So whenever it's slow, I'll start hearing it from the kitchen, the noises from it. So what's coming up this week for the station?
Well, Alan Bordius's Their Finest Hours tomorrow with actually a former Coloradan who wants to be a Coloradan again, Michelle Ray on.
Who I miss greatly.
And then on Tuesday there will be a roundtable of Extreme Liberty. We're still kind of putting everything together. Alan and I are still kind of putting everything together, but it will either be he solo or both of us with a couple of other people. We're still getting that all figured out, and then of course Dustin has as I completely just forget what his show is called, which is horrible. America Our Way with Dustin Hoyt. I was going to be right. We do have America Our Way with Dustin Hoyt on Wednesday. Then on Friday, as always, the Conservative Feminist Show with Liz, and myself on Saturday with Saturday Night Cigar Lounge.
Sweet. And that roundtable thing, what night did you say it is again?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Shall be fun.
I work that night. I wish I could join in.
It's fun to do.
Yeah.
It's fun to do. Of course, if there's no, it's fun to go to hockey games, but it's also fun to talk.
And have fun with
talk
friends. Yes. As dangerous as they can be, they're addictive.
Hockey games or politics?
Both.
One of the two.
Politics is definitely a little more dangerous.
Yes. That is true.
In good and bad ways.
Yeah. So, well, with that, we will talk with you next week.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for listening.
We will be back next week on Vigilant Liberty Radio. This is Next, News, Entertainment, etc., with your host, Jonathan Sangster. Say good night, Jonathan.
Good night, Jonathan.
We'll see you next week.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else.